What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I want to talk about the first impressions that we got to see from Star Wars Celebration on this game. And I want to talk mainly about why we need to be worried, or should we be worried about this game. And I think the answer, just to jump to the chase, is absolutely yes. I think over the last couple of weeks, especially over the last couple of days, especially, people really were starting to get very, very hyped up for this game. There was a lot of positive, in a way, word of mouth about this game, even though at the same time there were rumors from inside Respawn, the makers of this game, that there are some pretty bad working conditions, very similar to the working conditions of Anthem. Definitely some things to keep in mind going forward, and some things to kind of like raise your eyebrow at, but still we had not yet seen the game. Well, now we've seen the game, and now it's time to talk about what we saw from this game. And again, what we saw from this game wasn't impressive at all to me. Tyler, it was the first thing. We both watched this live at two different places, and as soon as it was over, Tyler and my agreement on what we saw was the same. We both thought that this was not impressive whatsoever. It didn't catch us. I personally thought this would catch me. I'll be blatantly honest in saying that I really had hoped, and I kind of thought that this game was going to show me, especially today, something that was going to be pretty cool. Okay, something that I could look forward to. And what we got was a 2-minute-ish trailer, CG, but made from in-game assets, so it's going to look like the game did. And it did look like a video game. It didn't look super real. We didn't really see any gameplay, and they even said that don't expect to see gameplay in that trailer, just expect to see the story. And it just didn't impress. It just was kind of there. It had Star Wars themes to it, but it didn't scream. It didn't scream to me Star Wars. It seemed very heavy on this new character being able to use the Force, which I do like. That kind of reminded me a little bit of Force Unleashed. When that was a cool game. Both of those games were cool. The second game, obviously, was not nearly as good as the first game. The second game was pretty bad, but him using the Force or being reliant on the Force, and then we obviously got to see him with the lightsaber at the end, that kind of did remind me of those old games, but at the same time, it didn't look all that impressive. There really was nothing that screamed Star Wars other than that. I feel like we did see a little bit of platforming gameplay when he's running along the wall and they're shooting at him and he uses the Force to bring down that platform for him to jump on. I feel like that's definitely an in-game thing that you're going to be able to do, but it just didn't look all that impressive. Another thing, obviously, is the whole EA talk of the whole, we're not going to have microtransactions, it's single player only. Well, that's great. I'm not going to applaud that. EA has gotten us into a brainwashed situation where they created a problem of microtransactions and loot boxes, and then they have their developers come out now and say, we're not doing microtransactions, loot boxes, multiplayer, and people are supposed to applaud them as if EA did something right. They're the ones who created the problem in the first place. So, that to me, I'm glad. Okay, I'm glad to see a single-player only Star Wars game, kind of reminiscent, again, of older games. That's good. The atmosphere surrounding it, I like. I like that the team is made up of people that made BioShock, Uncharted, and many more games. That's awesome. I think, and I hope that the influences of BioShock and Uncharted make its way into this game. I think that's not a bad thing whatsoever to have some very talented people like that in this game. But what they've shown me so far does not leave me, really, really excited for this game. We're going to have a community series about it. We're going to be talking about it leading up to it. I'm for sure still going to get it. I hope this game is good. Again, EA has also gotten us into the spot where it's like, well, you can do two things with this game. You can either root for it to do really, really well, to then show EA we want single-player games and we want Star Wars games to be like this, in the hopes that EA, the worst gaming company around, will change their mind and actually start to improve. Or you can root for this game to be a failure to then give Disney another reason to pull the license from EA. At this point, though, Disney is so stupid with their license that they're never, I don't think, for the foreseeable future, going to do that. So at this point, I feel like the only bandwagon we can all jump on as Star Wars fans is to hope and pray that this game is actually going to be good. Could it be good? Yes. I'm not completely down on this game. I do still think it can be good. We haven't seen enough for me to say this game is going to be a colossal failure. Okay, we haven't seen gameplay. It's not coming out yet. We have many more months to go. We have E3. I'm sure we'll see gameplay of it in June. So we have some time to start to flesh out what this game is. But also, what kind of game are we wanting here? Do we want it to be like a God of War, like a 15 to 20 hour game, but kind of with, it's kind of linear, but you can also do side things and there's things like that? Or do we want it to really feel like the mid-2000s in gaming and feel like the Force Unleashed and feel feel like Uncharted 1 and feel like Bioshock 1? And do we want it to be a 8 to 10 hour single player game and that's it? Again, I feel like the gaming industry has brainwashed us. There's a lot of brainwashing going on. The gaming industry has gotten us feeling very comfortable and wanting games to give us 40, 50, 60 hours in these massive open worlds in order to feel like we've spent our money in a good way, when in reality, that's not how it works. I can feel good spending money, $60 even, on a game and just play a story, a 10-hour story, and feel good. Don't forget, guys, you all did that. You did that 5, 10 years ago, and you guys weren't complaining. It's just a thing that people have happened now. So if this game is a 10-hour, really, really amazing story, it feels like Star Wars, it gets us excited for Star Wars in the future. Again, it's only 10 hours long, let's say, and you paid $60. I would actually be okay with that. And maybe I'm in the minority there. Maybe people expect a 50-hour single-player story. But here's the thing. People don't play that. You can look at game analytics, and people do not play games for that long. Most people, even when they play single-player games, even like an Uncharted 4, people only play like 30% of the story. So so it's just, I think personally, it's a wrong way of thinking about it. I'd be okay if it's a short game, but to the point. I don't want it to be The Order 1886, where it's 4 hours long. It's really disappointing. It doesn't do anything. It sets up a sequel at the end, and then we never get a sequel. I don't want that, but I want this game to at least reinvigorate Star Wars and show us that single-player Star Wars games can work. But right now, I do think 100% we should be worried. What we saw from this game was not enough. It wasn't enough to make me really excited. I'm interested to see the gameplay. I need to see the gameplay. Based off this trailer, if somebody were to buy the game or pre-order the game based off of this trailer, I would consider them crazy, because I do not think this trailer proved anything to anybody. I don't think it should have proved anything to anybody, but it definitely didn't get me more excited about this game. If anything had dropped, that I'm not as excited. I'm more pessimistic about this game because it just didn't do what I thought it could have. I really wanted to see gameplay firstly, but even just the trailer, it didn't look all that amazing. Did it look like a 2019 game? I guess a little bit, but more than anything, as I was watching it didn't scream Star Wars. Like if you watch Episode 9's trailer or any of the trailers for any of the movies, any Star Wars, you know what Star Wars feels like. If you played some of even Star Wars Battlefront feels like Star Wars. You hear all the blasters and you're in the middle of the battlefield and you're on all these iconic planets with these iconic heroes. And yes, those games made a ton of mistakes and really did some bad things. But at the same time, at least you felt like it was in Star Wars. This game, it has a lot of work to do, basically, is what I'm saying. So I'm hopeful. I'm praying that this game can actually be good, and I want to see more of the game. I think those are my kind of overall thoughts. So guys, let me know in the comments below. What did you think of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order? Did you like it? What do you need to see from this game? What kind of game are you expecting this game to be? Let me know all that in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And thank you so much for watching this video. We're going to have more Star Wars Episode 9 theories over the next couple days, so check those out if you haven't already. And also, again, subscribe so you guys can watch future Star Wars videos that we're going to have on our channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.